I think what I really like about Fallout is how immersive the game is or can be. If you're not familiar with the game, here's a small rundown. Spoiler free, by the way. The world's been destroyed from a nuclear bomb. You manage to find yourself in an underground bunker specifically designed to survive these kinds of situations. Years later, you leave the bunker to find that the world has been turned into a biohazardous wasteland. Usually, you'd leave the bunker for some drastic reason like looking for a loved one or something like that. It's not really the same for all the games. And on your way out, you encounter the remnants of this open world. You have a lot of freedom in these games to do almost anything you want. There are so many groups you can choose to join and side with, all of which alter the path of the game and your future outcomes. I don't want to spoil too much, but some of them are extremely drastic. Like there's a group of slave traders, vampires, ghouls. It's really fun. They have a lot of interesting and strangely deep stories in the game too. I think one of my favorite places in the game, it was a town called Megaton. The residents of this town have built it around this giant dormant nuclear bomb, and they somehow live with it as if it was a normal daily occurrence. Of course, there are people in the town who want to disarm the bomb completely, but the opposite is there too. A third group created a religion around it, the Children of Adam, and they constantly worship the bomb like it's some divine artifact. I really enjoyed seeing all of these sides exist together, and it felt super reminiscent of something you'd encounter in real life. Anyways, getting to the fun part, this game is also super famous for all of its weapons and the variety of ways you can essentially decimate anyone that looks at you. But my all-time favorite weapon has to be the Power Fist. I don't know what it is about this weapon, but I just love everything about it. How goofy and grim it is at the same time. Need I say more? I feel like I've made a pretty convincing argument. Anyway, now moving on to the analysis. So I've chosen a clip here that I think is pretty good for basically what I want to study with Fallout. It kind of shows a lot of the stuff that I really liked with the motion in the game. This is a clip of me killing some of the citizens in Megaton. Don't feel too bad. I always revive them after. I never actually save. But yeah. I think what I liked about this clip in specific is just how long that setup was. It doesn't look long here. But when you see it, it's like there's a lot of like anticipation and wind up beforehand. And the body mechanics on it were really like realistic. I was pretty surprised to actually notice that when I did the study. Like here, like first she goes down, and then the hand goes out. You see that? And then her other hand shoots forward into that punch. The punch has very little impact. She basically just like touches the other character and just explodes so disgustingly. But yeah, aside from just the punch having very little impact, I think it's really nice. I like this angle. It's pretty interesting. You wouldn't see this normally. I also like how the camera's moving around, like around the player's actual body. This is a bit awkward, but so something to keep in mind is that this is obviously a game, and games tend to have a lot more frames. There are higher frame rates. So what they tend to have as well with higher frame rates is just more in between frames. It's kind of like studying real life footage where as you're scrolling through the footage, you'll notice that there's so many like useless ass frames. And if you're not used to like being able to sift through them, if you're a beginner, you're gonna give each and every frame so much attention. It's gonna be pretty bad, and your animation's gonna end up looking like really weird or like rotoscoped, and it's not gonna feel like you animated it. It's just gonna look like you traced it over a thing. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of why there's a lot of frames here, and it kind of sometimes feels a bit floaty. But I think that's just part of the style of the game, and there are strengths to that, and times to use it, I think, when it can actually feel really nice. Um, but yeah, it's just something to keep in mind. Like, that's just the medium of games, and um, if you're studying it as like a 2D animator, it's just something to be wary of, you know? Okay, so yeah, I had the reference in here. I usually don't even import these myself. Like when I'm doing the studies, I never put them in actual Clip Studio just because I feel like it's so pointless. And also, the worst thing you can do is just to put it in and fucking like trace over it. That's really bad. I mean, it's not terrible, but I wouldn't recommend it. What's better is to just have it on a. You can even have it like here, but like in a corner or something, and then actually try and draw it out yourself. It'll help you build your compositional skills and realize, like, in proportion to what else everything is happening, you know? It's just a good habit to have so you don't rely too much on your studies. Um, but yeah, here's my study. Where is it? This one. So I'll just play it and then we'll talk about some of the stuff that I noticed as I was doing it. So the first thing I notice is that there's a super strong wind up. There's a wind up of almost 11 frames in here. That's really good. It adds a lot of like anticipation. And the fact that it's 11 frames, it's also because the action is technically in slow-mo. It's in that like that bullet time kind of effect that Fallout has when you zoom in on a character. That also gives it like a very heavier, much more heavier feeling movement, which is good because you do want your weapon to feel heavier, right? Something else that's very apparent in this is just how good and like apparent the arcs are. So I can't find any of the time lapses that I took for when I made the animation. So instead, I'm just gonna show you guys some of my drawings that I did while I was just thinking about this animation, basically what I was doing and everything. Uh, yeah, so I think most of these I made when I was actually playing the game, so a lot of the world was just seeping into my mind a lot, and these drawings were just a way to get it out, even though they're pretty old. But yeah, the Power Fist is such a cool weapon, man. It's such a popular concept too of like having a character with like a weird arm or like a powered up arm. It's so common, like you see it all the time everywhere. But I guess there's a reason for it, right? Like it is interesting. It is very compelling. These are the Fallout characters. Their armor is so strange. I don't know. This is Rivet City. It's so cool. I love the buildings in the game. It's just garbage, but they managed to make it look so nice, just the way they frame everything. And this is the actual Power Fist. I'm sure you've seen this in the actual reference. I think I just put this one in here for this one. I was trying to think what the hand would actually look like inside. Probably not like this, but yeah. This is more like mech kind of stuff. More of these hands. I think that's it. So this is the actual final animation. I don't know. I think I wanted to do something a bit more dramatic, like give the weapon a bit more like punchiness and like power. So I did like this close-up shot, and then I was trying to think like what would be like super overkill and dramatic. So I literally just put in the fucking a car engine, the pistons inside a car engine. I thought it would be cool. Listen, I don't know. And then this is like POV of the actual pistons. I had a lot of iterations for this, so let me just show you what I was thinking first. I was like, oh, what if the guy, like what if the end is like he's like a huge guy and then he shoots the guy and he explodes. Because I wanted to keep that same like Fallout theme, but I feel like it doesn't work at all. So I ended up not using that. And I actually like this. Looking back at it, this part it has potential, but it's again, it's just more build up. Um, so yeah, I need to work on that. And this was an earlier version. You can see the pistons and everything. It's just not as finished. Oh, I did this. This was a speed battle I did with a bunch of people. I didn't expect anyone to join, but there were so many people to join. I don't know if I can show the animations, so I just won't. But there was like a couple people that joined it with me. I think I put the theme as mechanical hand or something. And this was right like before I did any of the other animations. I was just trying to like spitball stuff. But yeah, you guys are cool, man. Everyone that joined, it was so fun. There was one more. Oh yeah, I did this one. This was like a meme one. It's because how goofy the weapon is in Fallout. I didn't catch this on camera, but sometimes the characters will actually do this, and it's hilarious. I think that's pretty much it from me. Thank you for watching. Take care, guys.